Japan, 1645. A dying man picks up a brush. He has survived over 60 duels to the death. He has outlasted warlords, outwitted armies, and carved his name into the blood-soaked history of an empire. And yet, in his final days, Miyamoto Musashi doesn't write about war. He writes about silence. In the last 7 days of his life, he leaves behind 21 rules. Not for soldiers, not for kings, for you. To understand these rules, you first need to understand the man. Born in 1584, during Japan's most brutal era, the Sengoku period, a time of endless civil war, when entire provinces burned and loyalty meant nothing. Musashi was a ronin, a samurai with no master, no lord, no home. In feudal Japan, that was considered the lowest form of dishonor. But Musashi, he turned it into a philosophy. While other samurai fought for lords and titles and land, Musashi fought for something far more dangerous: the truth about himself. He wandered Japan alone for decades, fought 60 duels, never lost once. He was also a painter, a sculptor, a poet. And 7 days before his death, sitting in a cave called Reigando, the cave of the spirits, he wrote his final work,
Dokkōdō, the path of walking alone. Here's what most people get wrong about Musashi. They think his power came from his sword. It didn't. It came from his mind. Musashi wasn't just a warrior, he was a philosopher in the tradition of the ancient Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius writing his Meditations alone in a military tent, like Seneca contemplating death in exile, like Epictetus finding freedom in chains. These men, separated by continents and centuries, arrived at the same terrifying conclusion: the external world will never give you peace. Only you can. Musashi called this mental solitude, not hiding from the world, not running from it, silencing it. And this is where the 21 precepts begin.
Precept 1. Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world. Consider this for a moment. In ancient Athens, Socrates was the wisest man alive, because he alone understood how little he actually knew. Musashi is saying the same thing 2,000 years later on the other side of the world. Ego is the enemy of mastery. The moment you think you've arrived, you've already begun to fall. True solitude strips the ego bare. There is no audience in a cave, no applause, no validation, just you and the truth of who you are. Precept 2. Do not seek pleasure for its own sake. The Roman Empire didn't fall because of barbarians. It fell because of comfort. When a civilization or a person begins optimizing for pleasure over purpose, the slow collapse begins. Musashi watched this in the samurai class around him. Men who had once been warriors becoming bureaucrats, becoming soft, becoming dependent. He refused it. He understood what the ancient Spartans understood, what the desert fathers of early Christianity understood, that comfort, unchecked, is a kind of poison. Not because pleasure is evil, but because chasing it blindly makes you a slave to something outside yourself. Precept 3. Do not, under any circumstances, depend on a partial feeling. Napoleon Bonaparte once said, "Nothing is more difficult, and therefore more precious, than to be able to decide." Musashi would agree. In a duel, a real duel, where the wrong move means death, there is no room for half decisions, for acting on emotion, for impulse. This precept isn't just about fighting, it's about every choice you make. How many of history's greatest disasters came from leaders who acted on fear, on anger, on vanity? Musashi is telling you, from a cave across 4 centuries, slow down. A decision made in full consciousness is worth 10 made in the heat of feeling.
Precept 4.
Do not hold on to possessions you no longer need. Alexander the Great, as he was dying, made a strange request. He asked that his hands be left hanging outside his coffin, empty, open, visible to all. The message was clear. The man who conquered the known world left with nothing. Musashi understood this long before he was dying. The Zen masters of his era taught it. The Buddhist monks taught it. Even the ancient Stoics, thousands of miles west, taught it. Attachment is the root of suffering. But Musashi takes it further. He's not just talking about objects. He means habits that no longer serve you, relationships built on who you used to be, identities you've outgrown. The man you were at 20 should not be running your life at 35. Let it go. Walk on. Precept 5. Do not fear death. In 480 BC, at the pass of Thermopylae, 300 Spartan soldiers held off the entire Persian army. They didn't win because they were stronger. They won because they were unafraid to die. Musashi fought 60 duels. He would have lost that very first duel at age 13 if fear had gripped him. But there's something deeper here than battlefield courage. Musashi is asking, how much of your life are you not living because of fear? The career you didn't pursue, the words you didn't say, the leap you didn't take. Every day lived in fear of death is, ironically, a day of not living. The Stoics called it memento mori, remember that you will die, not to depress you, but to wake you up. Precept 6. Be detached from desire your whole life long. This is perhaps the most misunderstood of Musashi's precepts. People read it and think, give up ambition, stop wanting things. No. Look at the life of the Buddha. Born a prince, surrounded by every luxury the ancient world could offer. And yet, he walked away. Not because desire is wrong, but because attachment to outcomes enslaves the mind. Musashi still wanted to be the greatest swordsman in Japan. He pursued it with terrifying discipline. But he was not attached to what he could not control. The outcome of a duel, ultimately, is not entirely yours to command. The preparation is. The mindset is. The moment is. This is what modern psychology calls intrinsic motivation, what the Stoics called amor fati, love of fate. Do the work, release the result. 3 things Musashi and history teach us. 1. Schedule your silence. Not when it's convenient, before everything else. Even 15 minutes of true silence. No phone, no music, no input, rewires the nervous system over time. The ancient Greeks called it skole, sacred leisure, the space where wisdom grows. 2. Digital solitude is real solitude. Musashi didn't have a smartphone, but if he did, he'd have thrown it into the sea. Your devices are not neutral. They are opinion machines, constantly telling you who to be, what to want, who to fear. Disconnect, daily, deliberately. 3. Learn to sit with discomfort. Here's the secret the ancient world knew and we've forgotten. Growth lives inside discomfort. When you first sit in silence, it will feel unbearable. Thoughts will scream. Anxiety will rise. Good, that's the old self, resisting its own death. Stay in the cave. On the last page of the Dokkōdō, in his final hours, bones aching, breath slowing, Miyamoto Musashi wrote his last precept: respect Buddha and the gods without counting on their help. In other words, the divine exists, but your life is yours to forge. No one is coming to save you. Not a guru, not an algorithm, not another person. The path of walking alone is not a path of loneliness. It is a path of becoming. And perhaps, as Musashi discovered in his cave, in the final silence of a life fully lived, being alone is not the end of something. It is the beginning of everything. Thanks for walking this path with Why Krish Odyssey. If this video moved something in you, like, share, and subscribe. The next step of the journey begins now.